Once more, allow me to talk to you about the constitutional crisis that is happening in Zimbabwe. As you are aware, there were shambolic elections on the 23rd of August this year, 2023. Now what is prevailing at the moment is something else. There are 15 members of parliament under Triple C who have been recalled by an imposter, a political prostitute by the name Tsabangu. I don't know where he got the guts from, and I don't know who is working with him, but he has recalled about 15 members of parliament plus 17 councillors, unheard of in this modern era. This man, I last knew him working with Tendai BT under PDH, that party I shan't remember the names, when they broke away from Morgan Tsvangirai MDC. So this man has recalled MPs. The letter was handed over to Jacob Mudenda, who is the Speaker of Parliament. He has recommended the recalling of 15 members of Parliament. Now what happened is more than a circus now. We find Etafadzwa Manyika recalling 70 members of Parliament under ZANU-PF. He handed the names to the same Speaker of Parliament, Advocate Mudenda. To the surprise of everyone, Advocate Mudenda so far has not done anything concerning the 70 ZANU-PF members of Parliament who were recalled by this man calling himself SG for ZANU-PF, Mr. Tafadzwa Manyika. There is a circus. This is child play happening in Zimbabwe. I call upon the people of Zimbabwe, the church, civic organization, non-government organization, to rise and call for sanity. Enough is enough. All political parties have got structures and channels of communication. Yes, needless to say, they say Triple C has no structures. No, it is an organized party. How did it come about fielding 200 constituents if it doesn't have structures? What we know is doing things differently. So it's not to be taken advantage of. So this crisis that is happening as a result of these recalls will trigger disaster in Zimbabwe. And we don't want a disaster. You know what? Things, they start small. It calls for a stick of matches to set the whole world ablaze. So these little things that people may think that they are too trivial to be taken serious of, they can have dire consequences. People have spoken. People spoke on the 23rd of August. They spoke through selecting members of parliament to represent their needs. Imagine 15 today, they are no longer representing their constituents. Is that fair? What a shame. The president of Zimbabwe, His Excellency, I don't know whether Excellency here applies, Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa. He has even set dates for by-elections for these 15 members of parliament who were recalled. What a shame. Surely when the case is still in courts, you are coming up with a date for by-elections? What are you in a hurry for? Why the hurry? Why the rush? Is it to maintain 2/3 majority in parliament? If that is the case, he is being badly advised. Where we are at this juncture, Zimbabwe needs a person to mediate in this political crisis. Be it local, international, SADC, I think we need seriousness. We cannot be all the time being in election mode. It is time for development. The country has to move forward. How can it move forward when each and every day is election mode? And you know, election in Zimbabwe, it's not like elections in other countries where people are free to go and campaign and canvass for candidates of their choice. In Zim, it's a different ball game altogether. You have to toe the line of the ruling party. They are retrogressive. We don't need this. We need Zimbabwe which functions. A Zimbabwe which functions is good not only for Zimbabwe but for SADC. It's not only good for SADC but for the entire continent. So please, whoever is behind this, stop it with immediate effect. To Mr. Mnangagwa, I say your advisors are your worst enemies. There are people within your party who are actually doing this for your own downfall. Never again will we tolerate this nonsense. To Advocate Nelson Chamisa, I also have some words to say. Not everyone you are working with is your friend. There are people who are behind this Tsabangus thing. You cannot just wake up from nowhere and say, I'm recalling people. No. He's doing that because he was paid. We know ZANU is in it. But also, take care of the people that you are working with. So for now, what we are calling for is, you people, you need to find each other. Let's find each other as Zimbabweans. Learn to dialogue at that level, presidential level. It will be very good to see Advocate Nelson Chamisa dialoguing with his elder brother, Mr. Mnangagwa, for the good of Zimbabwe. Let's swallow our pride and let Zimbabwe move forward. Zimbabwe is for Zimbabweans, and the destiny of Zimbabwe is in our hands. We need to work for Zimbabwe. A Zimbabwe which satisfies everyone, which has opportunities for everyone. That's the Zimbabwe that we want. Surely, these people who fought for the liberation of Zimbabwe, they didn't fight for this that we are going through. These things that we are seeing today. No, enough is enough. Let's give Zimbabwe a chance to flourish, to go back to its old nature, being the breadbasket of Africa. It was a jewel of Africa, but destroyed because of corruption. Down with the corruption. These recalls should stop henceforth so that Zimbabwe is time for healing. Thank you so much.